And we're live.
And we're
Hello.
live.
Hi.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Hello. Time flies, right? Like I can't remember how many times I say, "Oh, it's Thursday again," and it's Thursday. Thursday, 12:30. We are live. For those who never seen this before, again, we answer your career-related questions, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Right? That's where we're streaming. So if you have a question you want to ask us, just ask us in the comments, and we'll do our best.
Yeah. So, but before we start, I just want to highlight to our audience who will be watching that the Makeover Guys will be hiring. Oops, sorry, we had the wrong link over there. But the Makeover Guys will be hiring. They are currently hiring for 8 roles over here. And is the slide displaying properly? No, something happened. Oops, my bad.
It's okay. Makeover Guys are hiring.
Makeover Guys are hiring. Yeah. So that's the link over here, wobbjobs.com/makeover guys. So they are a team of smart and capable designers, and they can transform any home and any place into a masterpiece. So if you're looking for a place where you have freedom to grow, a safe space to voice out your crazy, out-of-the-world ideas, and a platform for you to perform your best work, check out the Makeover Guys right now. 5 positions over there listed on the screen. Right. So with that being said, let's jump straight to the first question. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But before we do that, like just say hi in the comments too, so that we know you can see us. And again, you can ask any question, and we'll pick it up. We'll go. But I think we have a question from last week, right, Brian?
Yes, we have a question from last week. But anyone else watching here now, you can ask us a question, and we'll be answering live over here. Say hi to us. Let us know whether we are too loud, too soft, right? Okay. The first question is, should I be a jack of all trades or master of one? The question goes, no, it's literally one. So the question goes,
one, right?
Yeah. I worked in 2 industries over 12 years of my career. I would say I'm more of a generalist as opposed to a specialist since I'm able to take up various roles. Will this affect my chances of getting new roles in the future? I realize many job openings require specialized skills over many years. Does this mean being a generalist is a bad idea?
I actually don't think that's you may not like this answer, but the truth is there's no right answer, because actually it depends on what you think you're good at and what you think you can get very far in. So what I'm trying to say is you could build a very good career just specializing in one thing, and you could say that and that's a way to have a higher salary and keep progressing. But then again, it's also a very limiting career in some sense, right? So that's the question of, are you really going to be like very good at this one thing? And there are risks associated with that. So let's say if that particular thing that you're specializing in one day is no longer needed or not needed as much, then what are you going to do, right? So there are a lot of question marks, and I think it still comes down to what you think you are good at, what you excel in, what you like. So if you're saying that, I'm really good at this one thing, I really like this, then and that risk is acceptable to you, then go ahead and just do it. But there are lots of jobs that are more generalists anyway. When you go to big corporate company, they tend to hire specialists because teams are very large. This is true. But the head of the department tends to be a generalist. I know this seems a bit strange, right? Because the head of the department kind of needs to understand a bit of everything. So stuff to consider. I think it really comes back to like what you're good at. Me personally, I'm definitely a generalist. I did a bit of everything. And that's actually allowed me to kind of run a company because I understand bits of different teams, right? So and I like this. If you ask me to just specialize in sales or just specialize in marketing or tech, maybe I won't be that good at it, right? It's not, I can't really go all in. It's not really me. So things to think about.
So actually recently, like I met my friend and she's taking over the father's company, right? So when you're taking over a company, for example, like Derek, you kind of need to know the ins and outs of everything, every department. So one of the most important thing is, for example, accounting, right? That's a very important part, finance part of the company. And because she's not very good in accounting, she'll have to like kind of like take up accountancy again. to be sort of like a generalist that you guys are mentioning about, to have a bigger picture of the company, to be able to have a bigger picture of the company. Yeah, so I guess if you want to be an entrepreneur or a CEO, a generalist, yeah, depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like what Derek said also, you're generally, if you are looking to be more of like, you want a managerial role, then generalist is better, because you don't need to know like until so specific, because you're not going to be the one doing it operationally, right? You need to know enough to manage different types of people doing different jobs in your team. So if that's what you want, you really have to look into your people skills more, right? We got a lot of questions today. Hi, everyone watching.
Hi, hello.
Hello,
I can see questions who's saying hi.
Let's
Kenny
bring up
saying hi. Arvin, hi Arvin. Hello.
Hi, let's bring up the next question then. So, is it okay to try a new job which is not based on my degree qualification? If yes, how to prepare myself? Oh, we kind of got this question every session.
Well, short answer
it is a popular question.
Yeah, short answer is if the role that you're trying for is not a very technical role, then most cases a degree doesn't matter. Yeah, if it's very technical, then it might say engineer, right? You want to be like a civil engineer, then they probably want to hire someone with a degree in civil engineering. That seems to make sense, because it's a very complicated technical role, so you need to be tested, right? But for most other positions, I think companies are very open. They mostly just look at your general attitude, aptitude, like whether you are, smart enough. They think you're smart enough to figure out this new role. So yeah, by all means.
Yeah. As for how you can prepare yourself, right? Literally try to learn as much as you can online. Like really, online resources are at an abundance. You can learn so many things from YouTube. For example, like you want to move in digital marketing, right? If you, we always give this example. If you apply for a digital marketing role and you didn't study that, you have no qualifications on it, chances are you're probably not going to get the job. Especially you're trying to justify to the employer that you are moving from something to this and something else to this, right? So yeah, you can. There's a lot of free certifications online. Google AdWords certification. You take a lot of classes online, just to show the initiative that you are really interested and not just trying your luck in trying to apply and hope that they will teach you after they hire you, right? So that goes for anything that is not too technical, that like engineering positions or like medical professions. Yeah, you can definitely try that.
Yeah, I think Sam can resonate with this question very well.
Yes. So I have a psychology degree, and I'm doing digital marketing now. So a bit of a jump. I mean, I do use a bit of my psychology background here, but most of the time it's really intentional effort to make sure you're learning and not just relying on people to teach you all the time, because everybody has their own job to do and nobody can set out so much time to teach you. So it's really on your own effort. If you're really interested in something, then you got to give it your all, your 100%, and do it. There's really no two ways about it.
Yeah. Like what Brian, on top of what Brian and Sam is saying, learn online and everything, you can also learn on the job by taking out internships. Multiple internships of different roles. If you're not sure, you try this one and then you think like, oh, actually, you know what? Maybe this is not for me. I mean, if the internship is only 3-6 months, then you can afford to take another internship, and then maybe you'll find the right one for you. And with a hands-on experience, you probably, you get the real experience, whether or not this suits you or not.
Yeah. I think building on that, because I came in as a marketing intern. So at the time, I had no idea what was going on. Digital marketing just sounded fun to me. And so I just came in. But eventually, after learning on the job and learning more about it, I realized I really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, do internships, guys.
Yep. Living testament here, Sam.
Yep.
All right. Next question then. What's the role of a property manager, I assume? Need to do sales? I think the job description should tell you what you need to do.
Yeah, we don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, so just what you have to be very aware of, sometimes job titles don't tell the full story.
Yes.
Different companies call different jobs different things. You know, some as an example, say business development, some company might think of that as just sales, right? Whereas another company might see business development as a mix of marketing, as an example, you know. So you you really do need to try to maybe look at the details a little bit. And if you're not sure, you can ask the interviewer if you're shortlisted, right? So those towards property managers just is too broad, and not just too broad, but then it depends on which company, etc. Right? So
a salesperson, you know, doing sales, right? There's like hundreds and hundreds of different variations of the title, you know, like consultants, business development executive, or whatever. Read the job description and ask the person that's hiring you. Moving on to the next question. If a company hires you while you are on student visa and asks you to work remotely, should I take this? So, okay. I don't think there's a reason why we shouldn't. You shouldn't. Any input? I don't see the drawback here.
Oh no, I paused for a moment because he asked to keep it anonymous.
I saw.
Maybe we can drop your question. And we'll answer it anyway. What's the question? So, should I take student visa, ask you to work remotely?
Remotely as in go back to your home country and work? If I were to meet you, I would take it. I get to go home and work.
So you know, only if it makes sense to you, lah. I mean, I wouldn't say no purely out of these reasons. If you think the job is good, it's a good career, you want to work with this company, and maybe perhaps they're not able to actually offer you a working visa for whatever reason, but they like you. And then they might say, why don't you go back? And then you work from us from there. And that's good, right? I think it's not bad. I think this happens very often with like tech roles. When I say tech, I mean like software developers, you know, and all that. It does happen quite regularly. Even I've been in situations where I meet an international person. We can't get this person a visa, but if they like to, they can work for the company from, you know, wherever they are, you know. So I think you should judge based on those things, whether you like the job, like the company or not.
Yeah. All right. That's all of our thoughts for this, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So anyone watching, you can still ask questions in the comments, and we'll pick it up live, right? And we'll go.
Yeah. All right. So the next question we got from Magat. I'm a fresh graduate. A company offered me bond agreement for 3 years. What are your opinions and what should I know before signing the agreement? What should you know?
I'm a fresh graduate. A company has a bond agreement for 3 years. What are your opinions? Not sure why they would bond you for 3 years. I'm assuming you're being sent on training or something like that. And maybe they're investing a lot of money in your training. So is the training good? Do you want to work in this company? I'm not sure in practical terms what happens when people break their bonds. I suppose like there's case by case basis, but you shouldn't go in thinking you want to do that, by the way. Like I think you should really assume, and I said this before, when you go into any job, right, you're not thinking about leaving.
Yeah.
Like you should go in, like, no, you shouldn't step into a job or company thinking when's going to be my last day on your first day. Does that make sense? Yeah, you should go in assuming that I like this place, I like this job enough that hopefully I can stay here for a very long time, right? There's no need for me to move. That should be the right mindset, I think. So yeah, ask yourself those questions like, do you like this job? Do you like this company? And maybe it might be a blessing that you can work there for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, you know, whatever it is.
Like what you should know before signing agreement is literally everything about the company, right? Like, you know, it's not to talk about, you know, going in thinking that you want to leave one day, but you have to decide whether, you know, this is the company that is right for you that you'll be happy to serve at least 3 years or hopefully even longer, right? If it's a very good company. So you need to know, like, the career path, the career opportunities available, the type of training that they are giving you. And yeah, hopefully you have a good 3 years if you do, and more if you do decide to take this up.
Yeah, I'm assuming they're training you lah, and the training is expensive, so it might be a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if you do have connections in the company, that will be great as well. They can share with you experience, what it's like working there and everything, so that you have a better insight of what the company culture is like.
Yeah. All right. Oh, hey, we got a fan here. So I just want to feature you, Rini. Hi, we met at one of the Sunday events. So we got a recurring fan. So good. Thanks for continuing to
hello,
support
Rini.
us.
It's good that you like the team. It's good feedback.
Yeah. So yeah, catch us every Thursday, right, Rini? Thank you for continuing to support us. Let's move on to the next question then. Oh, this is a long question. When I was blocking you already, Sam and Derek. When I was younger, I worked a lot and hard, and I enjoyed what I did. Most of my jobs are contract-based, so I didn't really have a career, but I gained a lot of experience. Now that I'm married and have a family, I decided to start a career. But everybody is so young and lively. I feel shy that I'm old and just started to grow. How do I boost my confidence around these youngsters?
Well, I think okay, so this is coming from someone who's on the border of like Gen X and Gen Y, so I'm old, right? But I think for the most part, it's more not so much your actual age, but just how you carry yourself, right? Like you can change change the way you think, expose yourself to, I suppose, what a lot of the younger people are exposed to right now, to understand like what popular culture is for them, to be very in tune. I think those things are important, and I think just that, and I think you shouldn't actually feel that you're old. Maybe that's the starting point, because if you go into any kind of relationship or interaction thinking that you're an old person, that's a young person, you already mentally created a
barrier.
Yeah. So when I'm talking to like all of them here, obviously they're much younger than me. I don't feel like I'm talking to a kid, all right. I don't tell myself talking to yeah. Sometimes I do. There are like some moments where you say something, I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I said that. I must be.
But just so you guys know, Derek is on TikTok, so he's really not that old.
Yeah. So as an example, yes, I'm on TikTok. I don't post anything. I watch TikTok. I play. I play around with like the stuff just privately, like just so I can understand how does it work. And this makes me feel very connected to I suppose the mindset, the culture of the people, and we can have conversations. I can talk to someone about TikTok, like social media stuff, whatever it is I probably know more about like some of these trends more than them, because I take an interest in it. So I think that's about it. And most of the time, I think if you just you should hear from the young people, not me. I should stop talking. Okay, so so how do you think someone would be able to relate to you if they are older?
So according to Derek, that one is download TikTok.
My tip is download TikTok.
The number one tip to boost your confidence around youngsters: download TikTok. Get on trend.
In all seriousness, I think the first step through, don't come in with the mindset thinking that you're old and you can't connect, because that is already a mental block. And I think what you should do is just think of your colleagues as peers, regardless of the age gap. And as you mentioned, you have a lot of experience, with what you're doing. I think it will be great, especially like from a younger, fresh grad sort of perspective. Like if somebody older can click with me and is willing to teach me, what they have learned with their experience so far, I think that is one way to connect, so to speak, like just on a work basis first, and then maybe when you get closer over time, then you can talk about more things. And yeah, you can always learn about people along the way. So don't just close your mind off to a youngster just because they are of this age gap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that it should be, I don't know if this is the right way to put it, but like siblings, you don't really see a gap between you and your sibling. You know they're older, but you can somehow still connect because there are things that you experience that you, I mean, it doesn't mean that just because you're older, we don't experience the things that you're experiencing. You know, it's just that you are more experienced. And plus, like what Sam said, right? Don't come in thinking that you are old because we don't really think you're old. You know, we don't. It's just like honestly, just talk like normal. Some young people are actually quite matured when it might surprise you. You know, so have a mature conversation. They'll surprise you.
Yeah, like just personally, right, I find people who are older than I am that can talk about things that are currently in trend now. I find it like so. I don't know. I find that person very cool.
Yeah.
Like so updated and stuff like that.
So
I
Derek
also
is cool.
I also have to confess that Derek probably knows more TikTok
Not
trend
bad.
than I do.
Not bad. I am not bad, honestly. But I say this with a very big caveat. This is the word caveat. It's like don't try, as in don't come across as someone trying too hard lah. I mean,
Yeah.
just do. I mean, you have to do something that you genuinely enjoy. You kind of like, So you don't purposely go into like say K-pop, even though everyone's listening to K-pop and you don't like K-pop as an example, just so you can talk about it.
Like hitting
don't
viewers.
do that. Yeah, and then when you purposely say these things, people can tell that you're trying too hard. It's a bit awkward. Yeah, but on the other point, right, I want to mention about the experiences and siblings, right? Like I don't know, say about siblings, when say I'm married with family, I have a daughter. When I'm speaking to people younger than me, the topic of my daughter comes up sometimes, but not a lot, and I mostly just engage them in their topics. Like maybe they're not married, but they're in a relationship, and they're talking about relationships. And it's not like you don't know what a relationship is. As an example, like there's you've been through it, right? Just that you're not in that phase anymore. So it's not. So the idea that an older person can't connect to a younger person is not exactly true, So so those things are there. So hopefully this helps. Gen X, Y, Z all work together as one big happy family, siblings.
Perfect. All right. A more serious question coming up. I was a staff under probation at a company. Unfortunately, the company needed to lay me off yesterday as their business is going through a downturn. I am clueless. How do I prepare myself and start back everything?
I think first thing I would say is it's going to be okay. I mean, if a company hire you, you can find another job. So you can take a time if you're any kind of I'm not sure if it's the right word, shock or anything. You can take a time to kind of gather your thoughts together, right, and think about what do I do next. Just take a few days off. Chill for a while. But after that, what you should do is you should pick yourself up, right? And it's one thing I would say is very normal. When I say normal, is in like currently there are a lot of businesses that are struggling, so people are getting laid off. So you're not like the the odd one out lah, if you like. It's happening. So when you go out and look for a job, also the next employer will also look at it in a very understanding way. Right? Everyone knows what a strange year this is. So just keep going lah. That's what I'm saying lah. Just write your CV again, apply again. It's okay to tell your next employer you got laid off. It's fine, right? But here's the thing that I think we said this in previous pop-up Q&As. When you're applying to a new job, though, don't really focus on the fact that you're laid off and you need another job, because then it looks like you can take any job and it doesn't matter whether it's that job or not. You still have to look at it like how you normally apply to jobs. You're genuinely interested in that job and that company, regardless of whether you're laid off or not, right? So that's what the new employee will want to hear. That you are applying to us because you want to be here, not because you just need a job. So this is something to know.
Yeah, position as well is more like forward looking, like, like, yeah, I got laid off because of, company I'm doing your previously, but that's okay. Now I want to join your company because of these reasons, right? Not like you don't want to, follow in the story of like, I got laid off, like not fair and stuff like that. And you ask me to do anything I can do, like just give me a job. Don't set yourself in that tone to the next employer, right? No matter what happens, always your answer should be like, I'm interested in joining a company, and you must be genuine. Yeah. Any other thoughts on this?
No, pretty much covered everything I wanted to say.
All right. Let's move on to Crystal's question then. I am a fresh graduate, major in hospitality management. Currently looking for, but I'm interested towards digital marketing, and what are your opinions for the job seeking? Thank you. Again, currently looking for a position in digital marketing, right? Sorry, I stunned a bit there. I just covered this, Crystal, but I think it's very early, so you probably didn't join. So you're in hospitality right now. You're looking to move towards digital marketing, right? What we said earlier in the show was that definitely don't go in to an interview or to the job, apply to the job without doing any self-learning in the first place. Because if you are thinking that the employer will hire you, they only teach you from zero, right? That's likely you won't get the job, because employers want to see that you do have the initiative. That you are actually genuinely interested, and not just like, oh, sounds cool, I want to apply, and they teach me later. They want to see that, oh, this person genuinely interested. She has been doing a lot of self-learning on YouTube, on Skillshare, or whatever other online resources that are available, right? And there are a lot of free certifications available online as well, like Google AdWords certification. So you can take that on. Yeah. No other thoughts on this, right? Just a recap. Okay. So Prabha's next question would be, hi, I'm recently retrenched. I am getting job offers, but for junior positions and lesser salary package. At times like this, should I settle down for whatever I receive, or is it good to persevere for better opportunity?
My first question is, have a think about and look at this very objectively. How easy or likely is it that you can find another job or a better job, right? I mean, that's the first question. So, and when I say objective, as in really I'm not sure what your CV looks like, etc., right? So basically, you're in a situation now you don't have a job and there's a job on the table. It's not ideal. So you should first ask yourself, if I ignore this, what are the chances another one can come? So if you think that you have a good CV, you interview well, and you are considered a highly employable person, you're not overly concerned that the next offer won't come, then okay, I think you can hold up and just wait and see, keep applying and wait for the next one, right? But if you have doubt, so if you have doubts, then I think you might seriously consider taking this, which then my next question is how much do you need the money, for example? So I'm thinking very practical terms here. How important is having income to you now? How long can you hold out without income? So if you think that you urgently need money and you're not sure if you want to risk waiting for the next one, you might want to take this also. But if you think, look, I am an employable person, I think I can get another job, and I do have enough money to kind of hold out till I find that next job, then wait . Yeah, that's how I would look at it.
Yeah, any thoughts on this, Sam, Eleanor?
No. So because I had a friend who experienced something like this as well, and it wasn't even during COVID-19. It was years ago, where he climbed the ladder very well, company to company, and he's basically at probably managerial level already. But then so the mistake was leaving that job without having a backup. And then he went on 9 months, almost a year, without a job, and had to settle for a lesser paying job. Yeah, so I guess at a time like that, when you are desperate, and let's say your savings, have run out already, and you really need a job, then yeah, you probably need to settle for it lah.
Yeah, be realistic with your timeline.
Yeah, be realistic with timeline, your chances. And I think that's the hardest part with people, like to objectively assess yourself about how easy is it you're going to find that next job. It's incredibly hard. That means you need self-awareness. You need to look at your own career with a critical eye and being very objective. So that's hard lah. But if you're willing to do that and ask yourself the question, is it easy for me to find the next job? I think you will have the answer.
All right. So that's all of our thoughts for this question. Oh, really? 30 minutes already.
Oh, exactly 30 minutes.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for attending this session. As usual, every Thursday we're going to jump on the pop-up Q&A, so catch us next Thursday. But before we go off, I do want to highlight the Makeover guys over here who are hiring for 5 different roles that you see on screen. So check out the company, check out the positions at wobjobs.com/makeover guys. Now, Eleanor, if people still want to ask us questions but can't wait until next Thursday, where should they go?
They should go to our group Off Work with an E, and we will be there for the next 30 minutes answering your questions. Basically, this group is specifically created for career advice. So for those of you who didn't have a chance to ask us questions, or questions that we have left unanswered because we are run out of time, go there and drop your questions anytime, any day, actually, not even the next 30 minutes. If let's say you have questions in the next couple of days and you can't wait, just ask there, and we have mentors answering your questions, and also maybe other peers as well. And you can even give career advice if you feel like you can resonate with any questions out there. Yeah.
That's the beauty of having a community, right?
Yeah.
So thank you everyone for attending again. If you enjoyed this session, please give us a thumbs up, like this session. So we'll see you either next Thursday or at Off Work right now. Okay, bye.